Coming up in this episode of the new Haverlock Hunters.
Well, if it isn't my old friend Egbert, I haven't seen you in days!
Yeah, where have you been?
It's a funny story. I had to go to the bathroom.
Correct?
Well, maybe if I got a little sip of the flask.
All right, I'll give you a sip of the flask for this, my boy.
I never get this sip of the flask like this. Ooh, he gets down to his knees and goes.
Yes, that's right, my boy.
Oh.
Just one little sippy for you.
The butler who is cooking in the corner turns and looks at you, but sort of looks the other way, but keeps a side
Mind
eye.
your business, help.
Gibberling! Out the back door. Go away now. Come back nevermore. Go to the hills. Go to the streets. Go to the place where they turn you to meats.
How can you be so struck with fear? Look at you. You're 6'5". You're just so huge.
It's like if you step off the bed, babe, and then the monster grabs your leg. It's like as long as I
Yes,
stay
and
on
then
the
the
stairs,
monster holds you up and you feel your primal fear coursing through your veins and you get turned on, of course.
Before you speak, I do want to issue a little apology from the horse master. I've done a little thinking here at the dinner table, and I know my actions upstairs were a bit foolish and put us in jeopardy. You are correct. Next time it will be much simpler to simply kill the person outright without anyone knowing. The bodies may pile up, but there will be no more ringing bells, and I will not be hurt again, so...
All right, Chadwick, why don't you go back upstairs, tell them that I am powdering my nose in the ladies' room, and I, the brave one apparently, will be spending some time seeing if there's anything relevant to our investigation.
Thank you
down
so
there.
much, babe. Thank you so much.
You better lie well.
Chadwick, who barges the room and looks utterly shocked to see all of you in the room and that he has to lie right now. So can I get a charm times 2 roll from Chadwick at -4? 0 hits.
Okay.
So Chadwick goes, Valencia and I were in the basement. We were looking for clues. Fuck. And he leaves. He goes out.
I'm the father to young inquisitive minds. Many of
Okay.
them.
Well,
I have definitely had sex.
All right,
and I am
please.
definitely not a virgin.
Please, the old man has said sex. Let us move on
Charm
from
times
this.
2.
Oh no. I hope I get it. Hey, you got 2 hits. Hey, that's not too bad.
Miss Valencia over there has managed to smooth talk and shamboozle various people very successfully.
And let us be honest,
one
this
was in the
Hector
room.
is a small-minded man, and small-minded men respond well to intimidating women.
In
That
any
may
case,
be true, but they also respond well to educators, people that want to expand
They do
their
not.
minds.
They do not. They absolutely do not.
I think
For the record,
men
no
love
one
when
was
other
in the
people
room.
tell them what to do and how to do it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now to cease talking
I
by
think
shutting
I
your
know a
mouth.
thing or two about young men.
I don't think you know anything.
And now, for our feature presentation. Three centuries ago. Dark days for the people of the old kingship. In those days, the roads were stalked by dogmen, the nights were ruled by vampire, and the woods belonged to the Fae Things on the hunt for lost children. Meanwhile, the kings of Old Haverlock waged war with their neighbors, seeking vainglory, and abandoning their people to fear and suffering. Of course, that was all before the flintlock, before blood thaumaturgy, and before the hunters. The first hunters came from an unlikely handful of fishing villages. Their tactics were crude, but with each generation their craft was perfected. Within 100 years, hunters would drive the dogmen south, tame the vampire, and convince the Fae Things to leave our world. With their success, the fishing villages flourished, and had turned into a small city. But all was not well, for while the commoners rejoiced, High King Gors grew jealous. From his seat of power in Old Haverlock, Gors declared war on the city. He boasted that he would meet the hunters in the field and destroy them. But the hunters did not meet the High King in the field. Instead, they met him in his bedchamber, where they put a bullet in him. the line of old Haverlock was dead. The city was free. And so, to fit its newfound place of prominence, the city took on a new name. New Haverlock. Since then, New Haverlock has ascended to the forefront of trade and heavy industry, but wealthy as it has become, New Haverlock is in peril, and it is the hunters alone who can save the city. Let's hope they don't fuck it up.
Welcome to New Haverlock Hunters, a tabletop mystery role-playing game where five once more, unqualified misfits go around trying to solve mysteries and whatnot in a post-fantasy 1900s-esque city. We are in the middle of the mystery at Catboy Manor. Quite a tall caper about a missing painting and a murdered father in a fancy part of the city of New Haverlock. We're going to do recap to catch everybody up on what happened, but before that, let's go around and introduce our players.
Hi everyone, I'm Lily and I'm playing Valencia Annalise Montparnasse.
Hi everyone, I'm Bryce and I play Professor Archibald.
Hi, I'm Magnus, and I'm Lieutenant Captain Alexander Barnabas Cummins.
My name is Alec, and I play Horsemaster, Youngster, Newborn.
I'm Kay. I'm Egbert.
Y'all went too fast that time. The animations couldn't keep up. Usually it's right on track. But there we go. There's Egbert right there. And I'm Peter Schmidt. I'm the game master, which means I play all the NPCs and have a great time at it too. So if you caught the last several episodes, you would know that the New Haverlock Hunters are in the fancy, call it Nouveau Riche section of the city called Hillside, which is now on the screen. Hillside is one of the greenest areas of this industrialized city. It's full of large lawns and manor houses that are dotted by the rich, who, maybe can't quite afford or don't like the style of the old buildings of Brandy Block and are much more interested in some kind of ostentatious, massive manor home. They're in the center of Hillside right now in one of the modest manor houses. What are you trying to do, Alec?
I'm trying to get Lily to zoom in the fucking camera.
It's so distracting.
God, everyone else but Lily looking directly at me.
I was looking directly at you. I had no idea what you were trying to say.
Okay.
You
We're
say
adjusting
get
you right.
the person next to you to zoom in the camera. Wonderful.
There we go.
No legs allowed.
It's a lot of complicated concepts to commit wordlessly.
It's
No
just
legs.
an obsession with being legless over here.
Yes.
Everyone loves that fucking hot elf.
We're not dressed for the
Yeah, it's the ham cam. You don't want the.
It is true. It's only shorts on this side of the table.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, there was 1 week where I was wearing
Shorts
and
and
I feel
long
like it was
sleeves.
Like, that's the.
up top.
So
Damn,
yeah,
damn.
they the New Haverlock Hunters are currently in Hillside, where they are investigating the murder of Holt Calbatross, the old patriarch of Calbatross Ammunitions, the fabled gun manufacturer and rival of Remington Ammunitions, Remington Arms, which is on the other side of the city, as well as looking for 2 stolen paintings. That's second at the request of Hector Calbatross, son of Holt and new patriarch of Calbatross Manor. Now, Hector understands business in his own way. He's a patron of the arts as well as a patron of the firearm. Plans on releasing a new line of guns that are 18 plus only due to the amount of nudity on them, as well as leaning more into the arts, as Hector had started the craze for the old genre period of paintings with his purchase of Catboy Apple, which was stolen along with his own original character painting, Willie Rising with the Dawn, that was meant to kick off a new genre period. These were stolen the same night that Holt was found shot to death in his study. The only witness to this crime was Pierre. I did the same thing I should have done last time. I should be showing the NPCs. The only witness of Holt's death was the bodyguard Pierre, a dagger man from Vishta who stabbed Horsemaster Newborn last episode nearly to death for accosting Callier Bonheur, the painter of Willie Rising with the Dawn and the resident artist of Campo Manor. There's a lot more that's been said about the alarms that were chaos painted into the paintings, as well as the means of egress that the captors got into the second floor, as well as the discovery of a boat called the boat called Rick, but ostensibly meaning rich man's boat, but he couldn't afford all the letters. Right now, the hunters find themselves around the supper table. They've already had a bunch of cakes when they first arrived a little bit before noon, and then they've spent a few hours talking, and now they're having a pre-dinner meal of horse on bread with both Hector Calbatros, featured here, and Hector's mother, Helena.
And it's already been Hector's third toilet break of the day?
No, Hector only had one toilet break, but it was deceptively long. He bragged to Ermina, the old secretary's husband, that it was the biggest he'd done to date.
Well, we shall see if he's the champion today.
We shall. So dinner is supposedly coming soon, and I believe you were all around the table when a doorbell was rung, and everybody anticipated this being Desmond Day-Lewis, the famed round representative of Hillside, who has taken an interest in this case. There's also a bunch of jurisdictional stuff where the Brandy Block Blues want to investigate the crime, and the Hillside Eyes also want to investigate the crime, and they're not working with each other. And Pierre on the side wants to just solve the crime on his own. So there's a lot of back and forth in this way, and none of you have made that many friends, what with Horsemaster threatening to murder Pierre's beau. So with that, let's find ourselves back in the supper room. The wide table, Helena on one side, Hector on the other. You all crowded around. Valencia seated quite close to Hector, as Hector's quite fond of you. And a doorbell. Well, which one of you is going to go at the door? I'm certainly not going to get the door. This is my house, and I'm the man of the house now. And as the man of the house, ever since my father now shot, cremated, and buried 2 days in the ground, I get to say that I'm not it.
Well, it is certainly not the job of a woman to do. I look around the table towards Sophia's.
Well, I've just recently been stabbed, so get the houseboy to do it. Pierre, I believe, is his name.
Pierre looks down at you and says, I will not do anything at your orders, nor will I leave the master of the house alone in your company, Mr. Horsehammer, in negotiations in the attic.
Houseboy behavior. Very indignant, always trying to defend the importance of his position.
It's with that.
We know what position you're in, Pierre.
Walking into the room with a pair of linen gloves that are stained the worst shade of brown you've ever seen, carrying a number of sacks and cheesecloths, wanders past the room and says, "Don't worry, I'll get it. I just finished cleaning up and I've got to throw these out anyway." She backs up to the door and kicks a little contraption near the bottom, which sets off a little Rube Gold machine of little levers and pulleys, and the door swings open. Hector cranes his neck to say, "Is it Desmond? Is it Desmond there?" But instead, standing in the doorway is an old man holding a little cane.
I'm finally here! Good evening, compatriots and friends.
The smell coming from the woman holding the cheesecloths full of brown liquid more than solid hits you like right in the face.
Oh, it smells. Are you eating? I'm quite peckish.
She just like slides past you and out the door and leaves you to welcome yourself in. Hector
Well,
turns
I'll
over-
just make my way. Oh, hello! Well, if it isn't my old friend Egbert, I haven't seen you in days.
Yeah, where have
Oh,
you been?
it's a funny story. I had to go to the bathroom. When you
Oh,
get to my age, it
that's
becomes
enough.
very hard to do most anything.
enough.
And having to go to the bathroom
That's
simply takes
quite enough.
hours. And after I was
I don't
finished,
need
I
more
went back
of
to
this.
the kitchen,
It's
and there was
dinner
no
time.
food there.
It's
So I
dinner
had to
time
go
right
and I had to have my lunch before I could come meet up with all my friends. And I went to the student dining hall because usually
story
there are
really goes
students
on,
there
doesn't it?
that will let me eat off of their plates and will sometimes give me delicious pastries and other things that they don't let us have in the dormitories for the older, elderly statesmen and professors. Now, I waited around there for 20 minutes. There was no student willing to give me any food. And so I just started taking things saying that, it would just be
Story's
added
getting
to my
sadder.
tab. Things that would just go on to what I figured the dean would owe me after all this amazing work that we're doing together. And that's when everyone at the dining hall started getting mad at me, saying I need to pay for this. And I can't be stuffing my pockets full of porridge. I have to put it into a bowl. And all
Oh,
these
I
other
like putting
things that
porridge in my
simply
pockets. That's silly.
see, isn't it silly? I'm glad I knew you would
I have a
understand.
sandwich in my pocket. I have lots of sandwiches in my pocket. Would you
Oh
like
well,
a would you
I
like a
think I've
pocket
come to the
sandwich?
right place. I can't wait to sit down and enjoy a meal together. What kind of sandwich do you have?
It's tuna salad.
That's my favorite kind of salad. I sit down and I
Do you take the
waddle
sandwich?
on over.
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a vigor ×2 roll to
Oh.
resist the damage of eating tuna salad that was on the floor for a long time, baking out in the sun and has been in a pocket all day?
Well, I got one hit.
I think you just might need to go to the bathroom again later.
I always have to do that.
Hector, who glazed over half the conversation, comes back and goes, "My old man, you have wandered into my house without an introduction.
No, I'm with them, you see.
Oh, a hunter.
Yes, I'm supposed to be here.
Ah, I did not know that they let the disabled join, but I guess I should
Oh, I'm
know
not
from the
disabled.
front.
I'm just very old.
Well, as I've discussed with Valencia before, it's a disability. Sorry.
Yes.
I
I was
he's already
honestly
taken offense to that.
surprised that the 2 days in which you were absent did not prove to be your demise. But I do have
I
to
live to see
tilt
another
my hat to
day.
your longevity, old man. This must be a record for your kind.
Yes, well, you should hear about how long it took me to go to the bathroom.
I would
Yes.
I would rather
I think
hear
we
about
should
anything
knock
else in the
around.
Talking about
entire
the bathroom,
world.
this is where you and I have a bit of a bonding. I'm young, but I also am known for my long times in the bathroom. Do you have servants to clean
My
things up? I
friend,
would
it
lose my
sounds
whole
like
day.
you're
This is
older in
horrible.
spirit than you seem to let on.
Pierre, I like this man. Scoot him closer to me.
Ah,
And Pierre
I know.
walks behind you and picks your chair up.
I
And
love an audience.
puts you next to him. He says, "Would you like some of my? We have horse meat sandwiches. I could have
Why,
Ermina's husband come.
I
in."
haven't had a horse meat sandwich in maybe 10 years.
Could you get another horse meat? He'll get you one.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
So, are you here to crack the case? It seems that they've mostly been fucking around, making jokes at my expense when they
Yes.
should be solving the
Yes.
crime and finding my painting.
They like
I
to do
nearly
that.
solved it myself, and you'll see that I was correct in the end. And if I wasn't, well,
A
more
horse
than,
master.
more than you did.
I must
Shut your mouth,
comment-
horse master.
You have new
or I will
pants.
Put you in the
Who
grave
was
for
this
sure.
speaking? It was
Yeah.
Pierre. I didn't notice no. But I dignify you with no response.
You say to him.
Yes. Was that Pierre I heard speaking? I'm not going to respond to him. I give you no response.
From
Pierre.
the end of the table, Helena, old and ancient, with no one sitting behind her, goes, "Pierre, that was the name of my husband's bodyguard. I haven't seen him forever. Where is Holt? Where is he? I haven't had a good snuggle in quite some time." She's dead. He's dead, mother. He was shot dead. We went to the funeral. He's dead. She'll never get it. She doesn't get it any time. And it's not even fun anymore. She doesn't cry anymore. She just kind of, look at her. She's just over, she's just eating a carrot. Her eyes glazed over happily.
Yeah, I'll admit it's a bit fun to me still.
Well, have at it, Horsemaster.
This
Do what you
manner
will.
seems more my speed. I like it.
In comes in Ermina, Lucky, from outside. She has peeled off the gloves and just has her hands out like this. Climbing in the door behind her are 4 Gibberlings who follow in. Hector turns around and goes, "No, get them out of here! I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it." They decided they wanted to come in, and they're here now. They're here now. You recognize one of them.
Me?
Archie, yes, as the one that ate the sausage with you.
Oh, yes, the little hungry one.
Yeah.
I relate to him.
He wanders up to you and brings the other 3 up behind
my
him
little hungry one.
and gets underneath you and says, "Hello, Archie.
Good eve.
You said that we would get more at the dining hall, but then when I went to get my friends, you were thrown out. And so now we're here to
Yes,
get
it was a tragedy. There was nothing I could do.
Well, we're here to get what we're owed, Archie."
Oh, well, I heard that this gentleman has horse meat sandwiches to offer.
Hector turns and goes, "Do not tell Gibberlings I have things to offer. We've had enough Gibberling problems in this house."
Oh, I did not mean... I meant him. The one with the 4 legs.
All 4 Gibberlings turn and look at you, and then they slither under the table on all 4s and surround you. One of them pokes your legs, the other one pokes the other 2 legs you have, goes, "This one's got 4 legs. Ooh, 4 legs to break, I think, if we don't get up."
Question for the table here. I'm in mixed company. Am I allowed to kill these things here, or
No,
should I take them out back?
No, Hector says, you can't. Every time, my father made a bit of a sport of it, but every time you kill one Gibberling, another one shows up, and then the other Gibberling gets up laughing. It's horrible.
The only way to do it is to melt them.
Full disintegration, but we don't have anything like that. I mean, who in the city even still has a furnace large enough?
Obviously me.
That's
you
right,
know.
you're a glue man.
Well, we don't use Gibberling meat anymore, but the equipment is still lit and burning.
Did you used to?
Yes, this is how we made our fortune. It's obvious. Before we gave these little creatures rights, we used to grind them up and melt them down, and the whole city's stuck together with Gibberling glue, really.
Perhaps
You know, Horsemaster, I typically find your anecdotes unbearable, but this is quite interesting.
Suddenly I can be bored.
Perhaps business can be done between us. I was more into Mother's synthetics, but if...
No. There's simply no product in it, A bit of chemicals and some sort of thin alchemy, but this, really got the viscera in sister's glue.
Well, maybe we'll have to have that conversation. You get poked again, but the Gibbon goes, "You're ignoring us." It's a different one. You're ignoring us.
Listen,
We
if
were
anyone-
here to get food.
If anyone's got a mortar and pestle, I can begin on its little hand right away.
Got a
Lawrence
stick.
told us that you had food for us. So where is it, big man?
It's out back.
All right,
Now,
we'll go out
now.
back. But if it's not out back, there's going to be trouble. And they all wander away. They stop to go, "What is it?"
I was going to say, I'm sorry, Hector? Hector's the other one.
Hector is the
Holtz.
adult,
Yeah, Hector's the one.
the not Gibberling.
The alive one, not the dead. Holt's the dead one. Yeah.
Holt's the
Sorry.
dead one, yes.
Hector. Now, I did not want to be rude, but I fear that I am unable to partake of the horse sandwiches as I am currently on a wine fast. So perhaps we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Give my horse sandwich, throw it out the back. They'll run out. We can lock
Thought
the
you
door
offered
behind
me
them.
the sandwich. Wait, that's my sandwich.
This is not your sandwich. It is my sandwich
You
until
offered it
I
to me.
decide.
You
to
let
go
me
with it.
have
It's my
it.
house, which means takey backsies are fine. And if it's
What
going to
is
get rid of these
this?
Gibberlings, then yes, Valencia, why don't you here's what we do. Go, Gibberlings, go. And the Gibberlings, and they scamper off. Says, well, here's what we'll do. Now they're off searching in the back. Let's throw the horse sandwich out the window, and then they'll think they got their thing, and then they'll go. Gibberling, 1, 2, 3, but there's 4 of them. So the rhyme won't work.
If you've any traps or trap doors, we could put the sandwich just atop it.
My good man, we have more guns than I can imagine, but I can't see how that would work on a Gibberling.
What if you rhymed 1, 2, and 4?
Gibberling, 1, 2, 4. Throw them out the backwards door. Put a sandwich in their face. That will put them in their place. Yes. Let's go do that. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is
Be
like when I used to
careful, be
poison
careful.
puppies.
But you're
Be
missing
careful.
3.
No, it's
Did
like a
1, 2,
multiplication
4.
thing. 1 times 2 is 2.
I always-
and then times
multiplication
2 is
thing.
4.
This is a smart... I see why the students look up to you.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
always
I'm
heard
very
it Gibberling,
wise.
Gibberling, 1, 2, 4. You are my Gibberling whore, and that's how you would have sex to these creatures. So be careful.
But
Don't
that's not
don't
what
you
we're-
misspeak. You know.
Oh, God. I could have misspoken, and then I'd be in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, don't forget that. Don't forget.
Okay, well,
Don't mess it
Valencia,
up.
here's the sandwich.
You
Go
show
say
it
the
to 'em.
rhyme.
No, you gotta
and,
say the
go
rhyme.
take
You're
care
the
of
person
it.
that owns the house. You have to say the rhyme.
No,
It's
no,
true.
no.
It,
It's-
usually, it
yes,
has
no,
to be the
it's you. It
manor
has to be
owner.
you, the
That's what
master
they
of the
used to
house.
do to kick
if
them
a
out.
guest
To be the
inside the
master of
house
the
is not
house.
quiet as a mouse, then of course they have to see out the back door the Gibberlings.
I'm not.
3 again.
None
It's
of us are
one-
Gibberlings. You can't use that on us. You're the master of the house. You have to say the rhyme.
Valencia.
Now, I think Chadwick and I can handle it. I will be taking Chadwick with me
Yes.
for protection from these vile little creatures. Of course, you understand.
Yes, yes,
Um,
of course.
So, yes, Chadwick and I go off. I guess I can let the scene continue on, but
No, we're going to follow you right
Okay,
now.
we're gonna follow me right now. Can I?
The kitchen that you go through towards the back door is splendid. Tile, everything. There's a bathtub in the corner for basting large meats. You see half a horse in there right now, fully basted with some slices cut out of it. You've got 2 stoves off to the side and some kind of newfangled ventilation system and joy lights aplenty, as well as some peace lights and some terror lights to keep the bugs out at night.
Ah, yes, everything has to have balance, as they say.
Out the back door, you see the Gibberlings, one of them holding the door open while another one walks through the wall, and 2 of them take the dog door.
Yes. All right. So,
And now they're wandering in the backyard, searching in between
yes,
the tall grasses.
I asked Chadwick. I say, Chadwick, please use your superior arm strength to toss this like you toss that quaint little disc toy you like to play with.
I'll toss
As
it
far as you can.
as far as I can. I gotta be real, my muscles are strained a little bit from that climbing I did earlier, so I'm
So
not
you're
gonna
going to be
promise this-
even stronger because they are coursing with blood. They are just fully warmed up, correct?
Well, maybe if I got a little sip of the flask.
All right, I'll give you a sip of the glass for this, my
I
boy.
never get the sip of the flask like this. Ooh, he gets down to his knees and goes.
Yes, that's right, my boy.
Oh.
Just one little sippy for you.
The butler who is cooking in the corner turns and looks at you, but sort of looks the other way, but keeps a side
Mind
eye.
your business, help.
I'm just cutting. I'm cutting scallions. Nothing weird about that. Yeah, and then let's get a dice roll from Chadwick.
Chadwick, what am I
Talent plus
rolling?
vigor
Okay.
to throw the meat.
All right, 4
It's-
hits.
4 hits. Oh, he throws it overhead, and the whistling of the meat as it goes through the air has all 4 Gibberlings look up and start scampering on 3, 4, or even 5 legs as they wander in through the brushes, get caught in gopher holes. One of them breaks an arm, another one lands on their face, bloody, and then they start going at the meat. But what do you say?
Oh, I say, Gibberlings, 1, 2, 4, send thee out to the backwood door.
What else?
Chadwick?
Babe, you know I got a memory like a leaky sieve. You're gonna have to finish this one. What is it? You know, you just gotta make something up that's good. What rhymes with door?
4.
Well, you already used 4, so that's not gonna work. You give really 1, 2, 4.
You truly expected me to listen to that sniveling man and memorize every word now?
Oh, well, let's just tell them that we did a good job because they're gonna come back, babe. This is how it works.
I mean, they seem as though they've gotten stuck in some
No,
gopher
you just
holes.
gave them horse meat. Now they're gonna expect you have more meat. Plus, they came to the kitchen. They saw the whole horse. This is a terrible plan without a good rhyme, babe.
Oh.
I shouldn't have left school. Man.
Now, Chadwick, you know I like your brain nice and pliable. Too much education deepens the wrinkles. We can't have that.
Right, so
What?
I guess we'll just deal. All right, well, we'll go in there and we'll tell them we did a good job.
Well, perhaps we should take this moment to see if we can explore the house any further. If there's anywhere we can get to. We are attempting to solve a mystery after all. And with that sniveling little man distracted by the arrival of the old man and the weird man, I think we might have a bit
Babe,
of
I
time
get what
here.
you're saying. My fingers are covered in horse grease, and I'm.
Oh, yes, and there will be time for that too, Chadwick. Don't you worry.
Oh my God! Yes, yes.
The flask is starting to take hold. I can see your veins bulging. Yes, it is almost time.
So, as you start searching the house, the butler
Two.
clearly watches
Two
you like
on the
leave in the way you didn't come in. So you just go a different way. Also, you had that conversation like out in front of the butler, but it's just the help, right? Like-
Yeah, I don't think Valencia would do anything different.
all right. So you wander.
So
up-
where are my options? Like, yeah, where can I go?
Let's say you could go upstairs or downstairs right now from the kitchen.
And where have we been?
You've been upstairs. Okay, you could give me, if you want, you could give me
Yeah.
a genius times 2 to have the spatial awareness to know if this staircase up will take you where you've been, but you have not been downstairs yet.
All right, I got no hits on that.
You have no idea. You don't remember if you've been upstairs or downstairs.
Okay.
Well, no, you know you've been
I
upstairs.
guess, yeah, no, I know. Okay. So, yeah, Chadwick, let us take this downward staircase. You know I
Down.
like places with fewer windows and
Into the basement.
more
Ooh, but
nooks and
babe, it's
corners.
dark down there.
After all this time with me, are you still afraid of the dark now? Come
There's
on.
lots of weird stuff in the dark.
Yes, weird, cool stuff.
Okay, babe, you're right. You convinced me. And then
Chadwick's a simple man.
he starts tiptoeing behind you like a Scooby-Doo character down the stairs. The butler who was cooking walks into the room and says, "They didn't say the rhyme, and now they are wandering around in the basement."
So
God damn it.
can we remedially rhyme?
Well, if you get a
have to.
really good one,
Maybe a gibberling in a dish, using a mortar and pestle to grind your
nope, that
fist.
sucks. That sucks.
Grinding your fist into a paste. Here comes Horsemaster squirting glue into your face.
Well, if you're going to do it quickly. They're going to come back any second now, and I'm not getting up, or I'll have to go to the bathroom again.
I waddle to the back door. I
Okay.
say nothing to anybody. I say, I hold my hands up like this, and I say, Gibberling, out the back door. Go away now. Come back nevermore. Go to the hills. Go to the streets. Go to the place where they turn you to meats. I say, go away, go away, go away from here. If you come back, I'll show you fear.
Wow. Everyone is standing in the doorway except Hector, who said, "What did he say? Was it cool?" But the butler starts clapping, says, "And a threefold rhyme. That's the most powerful kind of rhyme that works on the
Yes, I'm
Gibberlings."
very smart. I teach at the school.
He's our academic advisor. He does a good job on
I
that.
could tell. Get an experience point for remembering your folklore and magical history lessons that you sat in on for a semester.
I audited.
You audited, yeah.
Nearly impressive. Next time, please send him to the place not where they make meats, but where they make glue.
Glue doesn't rhyme, you simpleton.
I made it work just fine, I think.
What rhymes with glue?
Blue.
Blue, shoe, and fuck you. How's that sound?
Oh, I got hurt in the end.
Wrinkled old man.
Ermina says, "Yes, it was quite well done. It was quite well done. You're here to solve what happened to Holt.
Yes, I'm a problem solver.
I haven't been able to introduce myself. My name is Ermina Lucky. This is my husband, Mr. Lucky." Points to the butler. He says, was Holt's attaché, if you were. Secretary, attendant, second. I went everywhere that Pierre did not. Business dealings instead of body dealings. And now, of course, I have the pleasure of,
Dealing with
serving-
other dealings.
yes, other
You're a
dealings.
number 2 indeed.
You know, you look familiar to me from something I just saw a second ago. And she holds up a newspaper in her hand.
Yes.
The front page, it says here, "Horse Baron solves crime, comma,
Correct.
glue very strong, comma,
Correct.
stronger than competitors."
Correct.
Underneath that it says, in a sign of incompetence stronger than I'd ever seen in my long years as a correspondent looking into government bodies and fanfare of sorts, the new Haverlock Hunters have proven to be the saddest of all. Principally, their leader, a glue baron from a failing glue empire, who believes that their glue made out of old nags no longer worth running and betting on by the homeless and insane make better glue than synthetics of the modern era. Also in attendance is a disgraced police captain, made a police lieutenant captain, as well as an old man who didn't show up, a frog, and some...
That's me, I'm the frog.
And some lady who
Wow,
sells
I'm
beauty
in the
products.
newspaper.
Rate my professor.
Wowie.
Overall, I think quite a good review. What's the literacy rate in the town? I think most
Very
people just read the
poor.
big letters, so I think I'm good personally.
In the photo of you, because you kept turning to talk to lots of people, and they asked you to sit for 30 minutes, looks like you have like 4 faces all screaming in different directions.
And I obviously enjoy a ghastly visage, so it's a win for me personally. My ego's not bruised. You, I think they called you wretched or something. So
I'm not here to hear this, though, am I?
No.
Oh no,
I've
you're
heard
downstairs.
Yes.
Yeah, you're down.
I'm not going to be for a reaction.
Yeah, that's true. You're in the basement. That's true. Yeah. So Ermina puts that down and says, "So what are you really here for? This is a scam, right? You scamming my patron? He's already been scammed enough by
We're
the art
real-
world. He gets lucky with
I
one
heard
big
there
art purchase.
was
We're
and he
beautiful
with
thinks
art
it's
the
to
up-
be
we have
saved.
badges.
You have badges?
Yes.
What are they
We
made
have-
out of lead or something?
Probably, but that's
Yes,
beside the
they're
point.
old-fashioned
yes, but
because
that is
our
very-
patron
yes.
is one for theatre.
They represent the
He's
impenetrable.
old, and he
Nothing can
likes
break
old
through lead,
things.
like nothing can break through our determination to find Catboy with Apple.
You haven't been here this whole time. You just arrived.
Yes, but I care so much for the arts.
yes, and
She
it's
says-
reminding me: is our day done here? Do we go home now? Is this sort of a 9 to 5?
No,
Or
I
what
came,
time is
I
it? Does
came
anyone
for
know?
dinner,
It's
and
not
I
done
heard
yet.
that there was
Noon.
going to be dinner.
Well, first off, give me this newspaper.
She hands it to you.
Thank you. It's from my archives. Take it and hold on to it.
Where did that go?
Wouldn't you like to fucking know?
That's why I asked.
You haven't
yes.
been here for a while. You missed some things, and you won't be informed of them. Silence, sister.
You've got
I know
new
your hands are
pants.
full. I know your hands are full.
He's wearing different. I know he's wearing different pants.
Oh yeah, that
Did you
is
get
true.
them on sale?
Yeah. Would you describe your pants to Archie?
Don't bother with these pants. They're wonderful looking, rather tight on my figure. And let's say
He's
they,
talking about
I
me.
know.
He's talking about me.
Let's
my
say
body.
they're very
Judging me.
talkative,
Talkative.
like
Talks-
corduroy. You know.
Oh yes, yes, I've heard
It
of this
makes
new
the noise.
thing.
I am
They're
not
the talk of the
corduroy.
town.
I am
These
a leather.
corduroys.
Talkative.
I am a leather, the type of which you could not identify in 1,000 years.
I'm trying not to repeat what's happening in
Oh,
my
is somebody
head.
else speaking to me? I simply can't hear with
I
my
don't know that
old
anyone else can
ears.
hear what I'm hearing.
He seems like a scholar. A wretched scholar.
Yes.
You should strangle him in his sleep.
It will be done soon.
What will be done soon?
The solving of the crime,
Yes,
I
I
think.
like your hustle.
Yeah, I thought you said you wanted to go home. I guess it's good to hear that the Hunters, it's a big joke and you're going to stay until the crime is solved.
Yes,
So-
I must admit, before you speak, I do want to issue a little apology from the horse master. I've done a little thinking here at the dinner table, and I know my actions upstairs were a bit foolish and put us in jeopardy. You are correct. Next time it will be much simpler to simply kill the person outright without anyone knowing. The bodies may pile up, but there will be no more ringing bells, and I will not be hurt again. So
I don't think that's the
Um,
right lesson to
talking about
learn.
killing
know
people
what
in that?
happened
I
Here for
think
the
this
other-
is what I.
Horsemaster, horsemaster.
I need, so,
Please.
I
So,
must, Armina says, I must ask that you either take this seriously or leave. We have enough in situations on our hands, and Pierre has his hands full trying to figure this out on his own without having to protect Hector from, what was it, some wayward assault upstairs?
Why is he fixing? Why is he trying to do it himself? The more brains you have on a mystery, the easier it is to
I'm sure that Pierre would agree with that if he thought he could rely.
So,
I'm
Hermine-
reliable. I went on a boat.
So, Hermina, so we have...
What?
I found the boat.
Oh, you did find the boat. You did solve a mystery. That's true. You have yes, that's true. You solved the mystery of what the boat's name was.
Yes,
So,
it's
you're-
Rick.
You're more acquainted with Holt than most people here,
Yes, I would say so.
because
Fondest days of my life.
so far we've not really had much perspective on him, and like, of course, we've been asked to both solve the mystery of his death and retrieve the paintings, but we'd be interested to know a bit more about his death as well, and presumably you also want to get to the bottom of this as well.
I've got half a mind to leave my service here, but I have such a good situation with me and my husband, and I suppose I wouldn't want to leave things, unresolved. I have a lot to attend to during the daylight hours, but after supper, perhaps, you could come and meet me in my quarters, and we could speak. It's in the basement, where I live with my husband. She says, and then walks away.
Thank you. I'm just sad. That little pained expression coming across my face was also a little pained expression in game, going, they went off downstairs, didn't they? Who else can we offend in this household
So
within the brief few moments we've been here so far?
So you wander downstairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you go downstairs, it's very, very dark at first. There's no lights on or anything. There are a few like little windows up near the ceiling, you know, that look in from the garden.
Yeah.
But it's the late afternoon now. It's not bright enough to see what's going on. Can you give me a talent plus genius?
Oh, that's not a good roll. Okay, no hits.
No hits. Your eyes acclimate for quite some time before you see that Chadwick is still standing with his feet on the last step. He's chittering, and his mouth is chattering with comical fear. The room looks pretty plain to you, from what you can see.
I can't like see much around.
Oh no!
Nothing that seems of
If you don't
interest,
want it, if you're just going to leave Chadwick over there, yes, you absolutely can see. You want
Yeah,
to?
I mean, I'll turn back. I'll turn back and say, Chadwick, now, how can you be so struck with fear? Look at you. You're 6'5". You're just so huge.
It's like if you step off the bed, babe, and then the monster grabs your leg. It's like as long as I
Yes,
stay
and
on
then
the
the
stairs,
monster holds you up, and you feel your primal fear coursing through your veins, and you get turned on. Of course.
Babe, you know
What's
that
wrong
you're-
with it?
You're the exception. Like most, honestly, babe, I don't think you understand that most people think vampires are scary. And I don't think, sorry, I shouldn't say the V word outside. I'm so sorry. Most whatevers aren't scary. You know, and like if they're your friend, it's okay, but they still do eat a lot of me, and that sucks. But that's whatever. But like, I don't know what's down here. Maybe there's like gremlins or something.
All right, Chadwick, why don't you go back upstairs, tell them that I am powdering my nose in the ladies' room, and I, the brave one apparently, will be spending some time seeing if there's anything relevant to our investigation.
Thank you
down
so
here.
much, babe. Thank you so much.
You better lie well. Do not do your usual stammering and hemming and hawing.
I got this. You're powdering the
I don't
rooms,
believe you.
like pounding them hard. I got this. And he starts sprinting up the stairs. The room down here, you see that there is a little wash bin off to the corner with a small hanging line, with a whole several like barrels full of laundry. You see off to the side a curtain pulled around some hanging meats that are just dried, and on the corner you see a fine looking cask of wine. It's one big room of like brick mortar, but with a bunch of carpets on what would otherwise be a just cold stone floor. Now, if you look off to the left, you see the carpets all stack together into a simple but very sweet-looking bed with a small little nightstand next to it with a mirror. There's a little basin with some water there. There's a small tap that water can come out of. There's a bedpan off to the side that looks very, very clean, as well as a small dresser with some clothes poking out of it. Very simple humble lodgings. Not too dissimilar to what Callier Bonheur had, although Callier was in the top floor and had a view and a private bathroom.
So it's obvious to me that this is like, not an area of the house that Hector really uses at all, right?
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
could make that assumption.
Yeah.
It looks like it's
Storage
food
and-
storage, laundry, and a bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think I'll go sort of just peek around in the corner, see if there's anything that looks like
Okay.
suspicious or out of place. I mean,
Give me another talent plus genius, this
Yeah.
time +2, because you're out here ready to look at stuff.
okay, yeah, let's look at some stuff. And I got 3 hits
3 hits.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
on 5 dice too.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so let's come back to this
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you're poking and petering around. So up from upstairs, as you're talking, and she said, Armina said she lives in the basement, is about to turn away, panting heavily, barges Chadwick, who barges the room and looks utterly shocked to see all of you in the room and that he has to lie right now. So can I get a charm times 2 roll from Chadwick at -4?
That is 0 dice.
Okay, so roll 1 dice, and you let me know if it's a glitch or not.
1 hit.
1 hit, which means 0 hits.
Okay.
So Chadwick goes, Valencia and I were in the basement. We were looking for clues. Fuck. And he leaves. He goes out into the backyard and leaves.
Did you
Right.
find any clues?
He's gone.
You see him running away, but like in a direct line. So he's running really slowly. At some point, he trips in a gopher hole, falls on the
dear.
grass, gets back up, and keeps running.
Is he all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
What was that? Armina says.
He
I
had
That's
to go.
Chadwick.
I think he might feel that he's disappointed his superior.
Did he steal something?
No.
No, he's just stupid.
It looks like he hurt his leg. He's limping now.
That's okay. He'll live.
He's so nimble.
Right.
So,
The virality of his youth is palpable in the air.
You're half alive right now. Oh my God.
So
And the half that is?
You poorly.
what time could we meet and talk again?
let's say, usually around when supper's tidied up, my husband does the dishes and I have a couple hours to myself.
Okay.
It might be a little longer with Desmond Day Lewis, or possibly shorter with all of you here. Who knows? It seems that Hector likes and dislikes you at the same time. I think he's just bored.
We certainly do provide diverting entertainment, I suppose.
I suppose that's true. I wouldn't know. I've been in the bathroom all day cleaning up messes. Which I have to go back to right now. She leans down and picks up a fresh pair of linen gloves. They're in a little crate, and the crate has stamped on them negation gloves on them, and it says chaos enhanced. And she takes them and puts them in their pocket. You would know that stuff like that's very expensive.
And it's a bulk order
Yep,
for industrial use.
Exactly.
And heavy use.
exactly.
Impressive.
And
So-
she wanders back out the way she came. Her husband goes back to chopping things in the kitchen, which you are also standing in.
So, are we going back to the dining room? And I suppose we should, at some point, just talk about the case as well before we all
Should
go on.
you inform Grandfather Time here in private now, or maybe in the dining?
Do you want to go downstairs and meet with Valencia, or do you want to?
Sir, would you mind if we briefly use your rooms just to have a bit of privacy?
He turns and says, "Oh no, not at all. Just don't take any wines on the top shelf, and don't bite any of the meats. Just don't bite any of the meats.
I think
Is
I
that a
can
It's a
problem?
good thing. It's a good
If
thing
you want to
Chadwick
bite
was
the
afraid of
meats,
the
we've
basement.
got a perfectly good horse in that bathtub right now. You could bite
But
that.
is that a
meat.
problem?
Stop asking these questions. Just don't bite the meat.
What
I
kind of
understand,
meats are
but I'm
there?
asking if that's just a
It looked
thing.
Types of meats.
I can't bite any of them.
You can't bite any of them. No.
But
There's
what
a
if it
horse
was
in
a
the tub,
really
though.
small
Yes,
bite?
he
One's
points to
going
the
to
horse.
bite.
We have half a horse in the tub. If
Bite
you want
the
to take a
horse
bite,
in the tub.
you can take a bite of the horse.
That sounds good.
It is good. You had a horse. Didn't you eat the
I
horse?
had a horse already. I want.
Well, then you can
other-
drink some of the brine.
I love brine.
The horse is in brine right now. Take
Oh,
a
the
sip.
horse
excellent.
brine.
Horse brine.
Horse brine.
Uh,
I get a cup.
I haven't
I
had
get
that
a very
in around
big cup,
10
and I
years.
fill it with brine.
Yeah,
And then I pour it on my head.
and it gets all over the floor.
Yes.
And the butler looks at you, grabs his eyes, and goes, Armina's gonna have to clean that up, or I'm gonna have to clean that up.
I rub my shoes over it.
No, no. Oh,
Very good.
your moccasins are now totally filthy, and it destroys the entire point of wearing the moccasins.
Well, maybe that's not my fault. They told me to wear them. I insisted I didn't have to wear them.
Well, do you go down to the basement?
We do go down to the basement.
The squelching of the moccasins keeps you,
Have you-
fine company as you go down to the very spooky, dark basement. Can I get a pride ×2 roll from everybody not to get scared of the basement? Horsemaster, take a +6 on this.
I already had 6.
I got one hit.
Oh, you're also fine. You have dark vision because you can
Oh.
see underwater.
Okay,
I
never
got
mind.
2 hits.
2 hits?
5 hits.
5 hits? Oh,
18 dice.
I think the dark, if anything, you find it thrilling.
Of course.
5 hits.
5 hits. Whoa! Wow. Yeah, you also, the dark, you barely even notice it's dark. Archie, you,
Well, I've had to go into dark basements with unpleasant things in them, real unpleasant things in them.
That's true.
For my over my long career.
none of you are at all.
I mean, Valencia's
turned
down here,
off by
so there
this.
is an unpleasant thing in this basement.
Yeah. Valencia, you have found that these are some of the most exquisite meats that you've ever laid eyes on. The old you that would have eaten a cured ham in a second. You've got like hog, you've got like horse neck. You have all different kinds of bacon with all different kinds of seasoning. You have steer hog. There's even some steer flank, which steer comes all the way from Ulstra. That's quite some way away, including some fish hanging and heavily salted in the back. Looks like they're a little hidden, and fish are particularly hard to come by. These aren't fresh, but still nice to have in a jam. And you see that the top rack of wines are some very, very fine vintages. Some of them go back to the golden age of the old kingship when they were fighting the erstwhile empire and driving the dogmen back below High Horus, long before New Haverlock had its day. If you were to stuff some of these into your skirts, you could sell them for quite a bit of money.
Yes, I was going. Well, and I'm also on a wine fest, so I think I pop one open, and then I got a couple. Couple of my skirts as well.
Into your flasks and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's great. We're going to roll a dice to see whether you jingle too much later, but you
Okay.
already have a lot of jingling things on you, so
Yeah,
it won't be too bad.
I mean, hey, we'll see.
Because you rolled so high, you are able to, you hear the steps on your perception test earlier, you are able to hear them and stop doing suspicious things by the wine for fear that Lieutenant Captain Cummins might ruin your fun.
Yes.
You're able to step away and not get caught at all whatsoever. You all step down into the basement, and you all, with your dice rolls, observe the same thing that Valencia observed. It's a humble place, spacious, one big room. You can close the door behind you if you would like to for more privacy.
I think we will.
Quite the shithole. Feel free to close the door.
In any case.
So it's just the 5 of you down here. No one else. Where's Mary, by the way? Do you send Mary back? Oh, right, Mary's off
Yeah.
talking to Brandy Block people. Is that correct? Okay.
She's trying to wrangle up what the heck's actually happening in terms of the investigation that is supposed to be running.
On the Brandy Block side. Okay, right.
Yeah.
And Chadwick hurt his leg, and he's now standing out in the road alone. And yeah.
Now, it's a real shame that Chadwick isn't down here because it would be quite delightful to see him take a bite out of one of these flanks.
That's true.
Quite a large draw.
That's true. Yeah.
Any case, answer yourselves, please. I wish I didn't need to say that, but it seems that apparently we've got some half-inching issues around here, and people not being entirely careful about which crucial witnesses they decide to assault today. So,
We're above the law. It all shakes out in the end, I'm certain.
it depends a bit. I mean, you did get stabbed, and you didn't get stabbed worse because We were there willing to make sure that you didn't get stabbed worse.
I wasn't there.
I
I
might
was
go to
busy
the
eating
grave, but
and
I won't go to
pilfering.
jail. This much I know.
And I want to continue
In
to eat and
any
pilfer.
case,
Because that's my way. I don't care about the stabbing. I do not care really for anything that the horsemaster does. But being told I can't pilfer the sausages really
Old
rubs
man,
me the wrong way.
please.
You do see the sausages hanging thick and
They look
plump.
delicious.
You'd have to reach up with your grubby hands to pull them down, as well
I can't reach them. I try with my cane.
sir,
Oh, I'm
please.
getting... The police are coming again.
as the 5-0.
Okay, I won't do it, but I won't like it.
Can I get a
Look.
pride ×2 roll?
I
So-
can try.
Look, I'm sure Hector, if you sweet talk him enough, will be willing to put on a bit of a plate for you. He does seem to be pretty accommodating when it comes to food.
A bribe. A true
said
policeman's
no.
talk, I hear.
I got 4 hits on that pride.
You are able to focus on the task at hand, or think of
tummy
a clever
hurts.
way to steal the sausage later.
But
Pick
I'm-
right now. Do you pretend to pay attention and think about the sausages, or do you put the sausages behind you for now?
I'll put them behind me for now, but I won't forget where they're hanging on the shelf.
Okay, gain 1 experience, but take 1 morale point of damage, please.
Oh, it hurts, but it feels like my brain. It's like insight, really. You gain it, but
Take
it
another
hurts you.
experience before for your triune
Oh, yes.
rhyme.
That 100%.
Oh, I did that
solved
already.
The Gibberling. Oh, I gave you one already?
Yes.
Never mind.
Oh, did you?
I
Thank you.
forgot.
I got
Okay,
yes.
good
I've
enough.
had 2 experience this round.
Okay.
Great.
It feels like I'm catching up.
Yes, I've also had
Also
to
give yourself an
experience
experience
you.
for stealing the wine.
So,
All right,
He's
well,
fiddling with a piece of paper.
I'm not
now we
fiddling.
don't need to
Oh,
wait
maybe
for
I-
this old man's grunts and groans to stop. So, yes,
They
okay,
never
I
will.
see.
You get old, they just don't stop. The hits keep coming.
unfortunately, sir, I understand that he is an expert in the chaos arts, and we might need to have his expert opinion on a
I
few
think
items.
Yes,
The
so
sun
why
did
did you
it.
bring him here to the basement, which is clearly my domain, when you could have brought him up to the broken lights?
Well, because I did think we did want to have a quick chat
I
about.
think the sun did it.
Well, the sun.
yes, clearly.
So,
Well, the
That's the
sun
thing.
set a
His
few
son.
hours
I
ago.
thought
How
you
could
meant
it
the
have
one
done
in the
anything?
fucking sky.
What?
The small brain of a frog. For a moment, I thought you
So-
can't possibly be
Wow, do you
serious.
make fun of us for being stupid? I think the sun did it.
Put them in their place. Put them in their place. They're making fun of you right now. You're wearing me. You represent both of us. You Claude, say something clever.
You and I will have to join forces soon. But wait your turn.
You all hear him say
It
this.
sounds like he's
What does
talking
that
to
mean?
somebody he's not usually talking.
I
It sounds
was
like he's created a new
talking
persona to speak
in-
with.
I
He's
was
not just
talking
talking
to the frog.
child under the
uh,
cloak like he always
No, it
does.
seems like there's somebody else now that he's talking.
Oh
to.
my
Or
God!
another-
Look.
Is there a third baby on
Okay, wait. Can I get charm ×2 to get everybody to look over there?
Is this like a Venom type
And everybody
situation?
get a pride ×2 roll to resist looking as Horsemaster attempts to distract everyone.
Okay.
I got a lot of hits,
Oh,
except
You can add pride to it if you want.
I must
Remember,
ask,
everyone can roll
with-
pride one time.
what
5 hits.
Amazing.
is it when you
Oh,
lose
yeah.
3
Okay,
points
well.
in a skill that you have a -1, or is it just 2?
When you take damage, it's 3 damage.
Oh, thank goodness! I simply can roll as many dice as I want.
4 hits.
4 hits.
Oh my God.
What everyone else get?
I got two.
I got 5.
1.
Okay, you two look immediately
damn it.
off in the direction you do it. You two don't look at all. Like Archie
couldn't
and
hear him.
Lieutenant Captain, they don't fall for it at
What?
all. What do you?
What did you say?
What do you follow?
Follow up with something quick.
They're looking over there, and I say, "Good enough. Got half of you.
Nice.
You're off my back now. Thank you."
Man, I
What?
got.
Okay.
Getting experience points for correct. You got everyone off your back. It was successful.
Where do I add?
You
these
tally
things?
it at the bottom of the bottom paper. Have I never given you any experience? You don't know
No,
how to tally.
I've had so many experiences, and yet none of them have been worthwhile. The experience of being stabbed.
Great success.
Yeah.
You stabbed very well indeed.
You
Yes.
keep talking about getting stabbed, but why?
So,
What
shall
Trying to kill
happened?
a child or something like
shall we have a quick recap of like the kind of what we know? Because again, let's talk about some of the prime suspects. One of whom is indeed the son, which is one of the reasons I kind of want to keep the door closed. Because again, he'd made it sound as if his father was pretty supportive of his endeavors, but
Yes, he stands again in stature by his father's demise. It is a
Precisely.
tale as old as
And-
time.
Can we check his
Who
books?
amongst us has not contemplated killing our own fathers?
I would
mean,
never kill Jelly and Jam. That's crazy.
But your kind doesn't really have fathers now, do they? It's more like a
we
like
have
a
all
babysitter.
of them. We have all of them.
in
no parents, though.
All of the
We
parents.
live long enough, and soon all
it
the
was
children
mostly-
become fathers, and all of the fathers die.
God, this man's aphorisms are horrible.
in any case,
You get old enough, suddenly everyone's the father. And you're the father.
I'm not a father.
Are you a father?
Yeah, father time.
Are you a father?
I'm a father to young inquisitive minds. Many of them.
Okay.
I have definitely had sex.
All right,
and I am
please.
definitely not a virgin.
Please, the old man has said
Lying.
sex. Let us move on
Charm
from
times
this.
2.
Oh no. I hope I get it. Hey, you got 2 hits. Hey,
hits.
that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone.
I've had it at least.
Yeah,
I've had it at least. Can't be
it's
said for-
gone a bit.
Yes, you do look like somebody who has had the least amount of sex. That is correct.
What?
This is a productive conversation.
Yeah. So, since we've now discussed other matters,
Can we check his books?
what do you mean? Oh, do you mean what? What do you mean his books? His,
Well, he definitely pays people to kill people, right?
fortunately, we can't check his books. It's not something.
Now, why not? With
Yeah,
a
why
well-timed
not?
distraction, perhaps I could use some of my wiles or have Chadwick use some of his cat-like stealthiness.
He's not very good at that at all.
We're pretty
Yes.
good at
He
pilfering.
ran out the door.
You are pretty good at pilfering.
We could pilfer it.
Yeah, well, we'd
With a
need
little-
to we'd need to put it back because again, like the main important thing is that we want to know things and not know that without the suspects knowing we know things.
Well, we can be sneaky.
Well, I trust
We're very good at being subtle.
I trust one person to be subtle and another person to be
Oh,
so
who's the subtle one?
Probably me.
Ms.
It's
Valencia.
me.
Ms. Valencia over there has managed to smooth talk and shamboozle various people very successfully.
And
Boozle.
let us be honest,
one
this
was in the
Hector
room.
is a small-minded man, and small-minded men respond well to intimidating women.
In
That
any
may
case,
be true, but they also respond well to educators, people that want to expand
They do
their
not.
minds.
They do not. They absolutely do not.
I think
For the record,
men
no
love
one
when
was
other
in the
people
room.
tell them what to do and how to do it.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now to cease talking by
I think
shutting
I
your
know a
mouth.
thing or two about young
No,
men.
I don't think you know anything.
Yes, you and Hector have this in
It has
common.
been decided. I will be the one to sneak off and find the book by charming Hector. Yes, that is what we.
Yeah, it'd probably be pretty handy. The other thing, just to know, is it would actually be quite useful to know if these paintings are actually valuable as such. Because again, I am not an art collector.
Well, if we are assuming that Holt is the murderer, then would we not assume that he is aware of where the paintings went, and this is simply a red herring distraction?
We can't assume Holt is the murderer. Holt is
I'm
mean
assuming
Hector,
it.
right?
Holt is one of the suspects.
Oh, we get
Holt is
Hector.
the victim.
We're
Hector.
getting
sorry,
the names.
Hector.
Jeez Louise.
I mean, that's the thing. We can't. I mean, last time we had several pointers, if you remember right, pointing to the fact that the person who was shot was not the intended victim. What turned up later? An assassin on his doorstep. So,
Well, was there not some, and I might actually be misremembering, but I feel like there was some tie-in with like the crown tattoo, and there was like some other crown.
Why do you think I was
something?
trying to look at this woman's fucking hands?
crown?
Great, no one was in that
No,
fucking
the crown
scene.
tattoo wasn't connected to anything.
We've witnessed
The
thus
only
far.
the only thing mentioned.
There was no like crown. I thought there was a crown something
The
mentioned. with
only
the
other thing
assassins here.
mentioned was Mary talked about how the symbol for Brandy Block is a broken crown.
Oh, maybe. Okay. All right. Never mind then.
so
I've been trying to check everyone's hands, obviously. No one was in that room, for the record, when I charmed this woman, had her eating out of my palm. We practically...
You tried to eat her palm. No wonder her bodyguard
We
stabbed you.
practically made love, to speak in your terminology, before we were interrupted. The hammer was a game of sorts.
So what's
In-
the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So, in any case, Hector could have had an ulterior motive to get his old man out of the way. So it'd be good to have a bit of a chat with the help and the other people involved to see like what, from people other than Hector, to have a bit of a feel like if there was any tension between the old master and the young master. Good to know. It would be good to know. And again, like if we can get a look at his books, all the better. Because again, if outgoings have been going off, shit's been going wrong in terms of the business, also good to know. Or the father refusing to pay for Hector's hobbies. So, the other thing, of course, it could be a plain robbery. Things pointing towards that is apparently the people involved didn't know about the bloody alarms.
Well, and would we know if like any of the other paintings in there were actually valuable or not, or like?
I don't think any
anyone
of you are
know-
art
Yeah.
people.
No art. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like
To assume that though, if their motive was robbery, why would they not have taken more paintings?
Because they were able to take one painting because the alarm was disabled. When they tried to take off the other painting, the alarm went off and suddenly everything went south.
How big are the paintings?
they cut
so-
them out of the frames, so they
Ah.
were able to roll.
So
them.
that gets us to the other thing I want to talk about. I had a chat with one of the artisans up there, and it turns out that one of the robbers was a perhaps not very good chaos artist.
Oh, I could go take a look at the results of his failures.
Yeah, the other thing, and again, there aren't that many chaos artists in the city.
No, I couldn't tell you the number, but you know, it's more than one. I'll tell you that much.
In any case, they they tried to disable the alarm through chaos arts. Instead, shattered every joy light in the room and like trashed everything.
Well, why don't you take me to the scene of where these lights were burst, or where the spell was cast? Maybe I can think a little.
Do you want Lieutenant Captain to like maybe issue orders? We'll see if people follow them to follow up the other leads you mentioned. You know, check out the price of the paintings,
Yep.
steal the books.
Yep.
Do we want to divvy that up and then maybe we'll go to an intermission?
Yep, I can do. The other thing is, you went off chasing the tracks. What did you see?
I saw a boat and a guy who owned the boat, but it got stolen. And then
Right.
apparently no one witnessed anybody crossing the river except Pierre.
Maybe you talk to the beggars around there?
Say again?
No. Okay.
Wait, no, what'd you say?
Oh, anybody talk to the beggars around there, or any of the
I
street
talked to
people?
one who apparently owned the boat. Rick!
Right. Rick? Who's Rick?
The boat!
Ah. Okay.
It's short for rich man's boat.
I see.
I don't know how he got it, but
Asp-
apparently he has it.
Aspirational.
But
It's very in keeping with the city.
Wait, so this is the first all of us are hearing
Yeah.
of this,
Yeah,
right?
of Rick.
Yeah. Of
he
the
couldn't
Rick Man's
afford
boat.
to
Yeah.
pay for the rest of the letters.
But
So-
I swam to the other side with Brandy Block, and apparently nobody witnessed it. They kept bragging about having 300 guards, but like nobody saw it. That's crazy.
Well, so let's say we should probably chat to some of the street people around there. You always have some people hanging around. The thing is, would you mind doing it? Yeah, you're a happy-go-lucky fella.
Okay,
And again, like, say you're friendly. Just have a friendly chat with some of the.
I am friendly.
Yeah, and again, it's the waterfront.
Very friendly.
It's the waterfront. You might be able to rustle up some other frog people up there.
Oh, I don't know if they would seen any. Did they go there?
There might be some. I mean, it is off the canals.
Yeah.
Hillside isn't really particularly friendly, but the hillside docks are like a little bit different. I think if you looked around, you might be able to find some. Not many, but maybe one or two making deliveries or something. It's late afternoon, so you'd have to rush. Because by
going-
nightfall, no way.
Yeah.
Going
And
to rush.
Horsemaster, you're a... I suppose you are the toast of fine society.
Correct.
You know some of the old money. If you could check up to see, like, if there's been any movement in the art market, I think that'd be useful.
Okay, are you telling me to leave the house?
Yeah.
And I can do murders and intimidations as I please, or
Nope.
only as a unit?
But I'm sure, like, the people you want to talk to about that. I mean, the people you know, right? Do you casually torture your acquaintances?
No, most of my acquaintances are the casual torturers.
Somehow, I'm not surprised. In any case, if you could talk to your fellow casuals,
Casuals.
we can, hopefully they might know something about. And again, like, also if you hear anything about a fellow industrialist and whether they're on the up or the down, would also be useful to know. Because again, like, up or down, they care about it, you care about it. You care very much about sisters, right? And that they're on the up, not the down.
Listen, I'll consider it, but first I need to mull something over. What are my current health points?
Oh, you have one lethal. You have one lethal health left.
No, it doesn't have two
That's
because you
true.
recovered
I-
one.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
I
you did
recovered
recover. Yeah,
one.
yes, because of the glue that was thrown in. So you're at 2 lethal help, and I don't know what the morale help is. It would
I
list
only
it
went
there.
down 1, I believe.
So that means you've taken a total of 7 damage. So you take a -2 to all dice rolls.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we haven't been doing that. We should
No,
we should
no.
remember to do
And
that.
how might I heal myself? Normally I have 8 hit points.
So I mentioned earlier, you can only attempt to heal a wound 1 time with first aid or magic. The sister pumping glue and you counted as that 1 time. Now you have to sleep it off.
Sleep it off. This is what I was thinking.
Yeah. It'll take a long time for you, unless you roll really well. Egbert got shot and rolled insanely well, and healed all of it in 1 round. You throw pride behind that roll. Maybe the glue baron, also your weird mutations that puts your heart in a weird place, also makes you heal really fast. Who can say?
I'm wondering if I should tell this man yes and then go take a nap in the attic.
You'll need like at least a full night's sleep to go do it.
How long is my carriage ride back to the factory?
Perhaps an hour. Not
Long.
long enough to like heal your morale damage. Like if you take an hour rest, you can heal your morale damage.
And once I get back, say I were to do so, how do I call upon my friends? How do you make contact?
So we discussed before that there's a lot of ways. One of them is just going and visiting the people or going to the frequent haunts. You know, Headmaster Inhospitable is frequently at his orphanage, but Dr. Baby Lovechild, who is more of a patron of the arts, I think, than Hospitable, you know, is a socialite and gets around. But you know, you might be able to ask around. Otherwise, phones do exist, but only like wealthy or important places have them. So for example, your apartment does not. Calbatross Manor is sure to have a phone. Is the glue factory sure to have a phone? Perhaps not.
It does not.
The orphanage also might not have a phone, but Dr. Baby Lovechild's estate probably would.
Is he not? Are you not a member of a gentleman's club of some sort?
See, that would also be
No. I'm no gentleman.
You've been kicked out of all the gentlemen's clubs. I think you could ask. I mean, for your sake too. I'm sure you have some network of weird child stealers or something that keeps an idea. There's
Small but
beggars'
tight-knit.
eyes and stuff like that. We could solve that problem. Just
And
have
again,
a
like,
think about it over the
As in terms of old money, you're an eccentric.
exactly.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, any time you hear, like, in the UK, and they say he was an eccentric aristocrat, you should picture this.
Yeah.
And
You just go
usually,
ask some kids on the street, be like, you know, you'll figure it out.
As long as I'm able to harass children.
Oh yeah.
As I said, imagine when they say
And then the other.
this has not got nothing to do with the British prince who's currently in legal trouble. Not at all.
I don't know anything about this. Let's move on. So, and then otherwise, what was it that Archie? You're going to show the paintings to Archie.
Yeah, and yeah,
I'm
but
going
it's-
to look at the.
Well,
The lights.
perhaps I was going to say it seems as though young Master Hector is most charmed with myself, of course, and the old man for some reason. So perhaps us together, one could distract whilst the other looks at the book.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
whatever painting research needs to be done,
if
we
between-
can do. I will perhaps distract him in the meantime. I think without Horsemaster here, the bodyguard will be a bit more relaxed and maybe amenable.
From my end, I'll chat with the Henrietta,
Ermina.
Hermina,
Okay.
and
Okay.
again, I will quickly show him the scene of the crime as well. That's all right?
Okay. This sounds
And
good.
should we all, since we're all kind of scattering a little, shall we regroup tomorrow for lunch?
Regroup tomorrow for lunch.
I like lunch.
All right. Very good. Okay.
Can we do dinner perhaps? I plan to sleep in quite late tomorrow.
I suppose so. I mean, I think some of the inquiries might take a bit longer, but well,
Yes, it will take longer, so we meet for dinner. It gives more time for the inquiries to be resolved. Exactly.
Okay. We have not been doing your bad dice rolls, I'm realizing. I gotta remember that. I mean, you're in a house. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. Well, with that being said, let's take a little break, and then we'll come back to at least the start of these forays into the different four ways.
Forays into the forest.
Exactly. We'll be back just after this message about some stuff. Gibberling, 1, 2, 3, but there's 4 of them. So the rhyme won't work.
If you've any traps or trap doors, we could put the sandwich just atop it.
My good man, we have more guns than I can imagine, but I can't see how that would work on a Gibberling.
What if you rhymed 1, 2, and 4?
Gibberling, 1, 2, 4. Throw them out the backwards door. Put a sandwich in their face. That will put them in their place. Yes. Let's go do that. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is
Be
like when I used to
careful, be
poison
careful.
puppies.
But you're
Be
missing
careful.
3.
No, it's
Did
like a
1, 2,
multiplication
4.
thing. 1 times 2 is 2.
I
Yes,
always-
it's a
and then times
multiplication
2 is
thing.
4.
This is a smart. I see why the students look up to you.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
always
I'm
heard
very
it
wise.
Gibberling, 1, 2, 4. You are my Gibberling whore, and that's how you would have sex to these creatures. So be careful.
But
don't
that's not
don't
what
you
we're-
misspeak. You know.
Oh God, I could have misspoken, and then I'd be in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, don't forget that. Don't forget.
Okay, well.